So recently, there was a conference in Scotland. I didn't go, but Dr. Gunda went there, and they said petroleum must not be used in cars after 20 years. So that's how now the companies which have been looking for petroleum stopped. They are no longer looking for the petroleum. They are no longer looking for new petroleum. So the small amount of petroleum which is already known, the price has now gone up. Even before the war in Ukraine, it had gone from I think it was $60, it had gone to $80. With the war in Ukraine, it went to now 100. So that's the issue of petroleum. Now, why the prices are up? The prices are that petroleum, again, it will no longer be used in vehicles. Some of these people can talk more about it if they know more about it. Later, I will ask them. So that means, the world is now saying you must go to the African energy, the one they abandoned, the one they told us to abandon. We must go back to the African energy, which is what? Solar, wind, of course there is some hydro. Hydro was added. Was added. Of course, the Africans were also using hydro not to produce electricity, but to do work, to wash, to things, to clear. They were using water for that. So the world is now going away from petroleum for cars to solar, wind, nuclear, and hydro. That's the problem of petrol. Why it has gone up now? So you should all know it. Don't get worried that Uganda had just found petroleum. Now it has lost at ADBA. It has now lost value. No. First of all, these 20 years where we can get we can harvest like the others are harvesting, because it takes time to migrate, to go from petrol to the other forms of energy. But even after that, I think you have seen me these days putting on a very nice shirt, which I put on all the time. That shirt is 65%, what do you call it, the thing? Polyester, 65% polyester. Even these uniforms we are putting on, they are 65% polyester, 35% cotton. So petroleum will still be used for cloth, for fertilizer, for tarmac roads, making tarmac roads, for other things. It will still have use. The people can explain about it later. I brought the scientists here. I will introduce them to you. They will explain to you. Because I want you all to know what is happening. So what will change, therefore, is from using the petroleum in the car, because that's the bad use. This is the bad use. To safer uses. We should have safer uses. So therefore, when this problem comes up, and by the way, the kutomera by these money seekers is not only in petroleum. I remember 1964, I think that was the year when cotton got the lowest price. Why? At that time, nylon, there was a fiber known as nylon. Oh, nylon is the good. So people were abandoning cotton. 1964. You can check the records. 64 Then after some years, nylon is not good. It's not good for the skin. We'll go back to cotton. So that greed for money, which does not make them do proper research, is what you should know. Asbestos. At one time, asbestos is the good material. After some time, asbestos is causing cancer. So, now in this case, because petroleum used to drive cars goes into everything. That's why you find even matoke from Bushenyi, from Chenjojo, is also expensive. Why? Because the vehicles carrying it are using fuel which is very expensive. So therefore, the question is, what do we do? Some people have been saying, remove taxes on some of the fuel. Others say, subsidize. But we have advised you that that's not wise. We have advised that you see what you are recommending is that we subsidize the graveyard. Dead life is the one we should subsidize. And for us, we are advising you that, please, if we have got money, let us put it to where there is safety. Gye tunaatera okusenga si bwe tugamba mu lulimi olwaffe. Akasente mu kifo ky'okateeka mu matongo mu ekiri amatongo ebifurukwa mu ekiri amatongo. Abaganda banyankole ddala balinga abanyankole boogera lulimi lumu. This little money we have, instead of putting it here where there is danger and people are running away, let us put it where we are going, so that we can get there faster and we are safer. And where is the safe place? Two places. Number one, electric vehicles, electric buses, electric lorries, electric minibuses. They're even talking of electric bodabodas, I hear, and electric cars. Fortunately, we had started building these vehicles. We were not doing it because we knew that petroleum would become a big problem, but we were doing it in order to develop our country. Of course, we were also looking at assembling and fabricating the buses of the diesel. Like, for instance, our man Katawazi, Metu was putting it together, fabricating the diesel ones. But when this problem has come, we have said, wanawafira muloge. Only the one who is mad can continue with this. Let's go to the safer solution. Now, the second solution is the train. the train, because the train will use either electricity or will use, even if they use diesel, it will be much less diesel, I think. I don't know. We need to get there. But we can use electricity for the train so that we use much less fuel. We use much less fuel. So today, I brought scientists here so that they tell you more about these solutions. Maybe I start with Museveni to tell us about the electric vehicles.
Thank you, Your Excellence, for the guidance you've given to the nation. Indeed, electric vehicles are the correct way to go, because on top of the environmental opportunities that we get by avoiding pollution, and here, Your Excellence, allow me to note that a typical diesel bus releases 1.2 kilograms of carbon dioxide per kilometer. The acceptable standards by the United Nations Economic Commission for Europe is 172 grams per kilometer. So when you do the computation, you see that this is way over and above what is acceptable. And the electric bus emits 0. Now, while the cost of the electric bus initially is higher, perhaps twice that of its diesel equivalent along the entire segment of products, the total cost of ownership, which combines the initial cost of the asset plus the operating and maintenance cost and the running costs, what you put in fuel and so on, combined over its life. For the electric bus, it is 60% of the total cost of ownership of an equivalent diesel bus. And here, Your Excellency, I would also want to continue to note that when we look at the Kayola electric bus, in its life, it gives you 900,000 kilometers in its life. The diesel equivalent will give you 200,000 kilometers before you go to either do a total overhaul or have challenges of very expensive running costs because of regular breakdown. Your Excellency, also allow me to note that in terms of energy consumption for the electric bus compared to the diesel equivalent, we are looking at the electric bus consuming 22% of the diesel equivalent. And when I talk in the language that the Honorable would understand better, we are saying that the electric bus consumes just under 1 unit. And if this unit we are using the utility or the street lighting tariff, it's about 370 Uganda shillings. So just under 1 unit, we are talking about 360 Uganda shillings to run 1 kilometer of a bus, which has a capacity of 90 passengers. The diesel equivalent costs 5 times more to run. So we see that there is a great opportunity there when we are moving. Allow me also to note that there are opportunities in other segments like the border borders, which will continue to play a very important role in logistics, and the feeder route for passengers, bringing people from home to the stage as they're used today. And we see that today already here in Uganda, a border which uses petrol costs about 5 million, brand new. That is a Bajaj 100cc. And we have people who are already either assembling or even doing some local manufacturing of parts in the borders. We have Zembo, we have border work.
They are manufacturing.
Borders. They're assembling and also manufacturing some parts of borders, electric borders.
Electric.
Electric. Mm-hmm. And a brand new electric border made by the International University of East Africa, which is here, is going for 7 million shillings. It may still be a little bit higher, but when we go into the operating costs, certainly the users will benefit more by even up to 25% cut, or rather a difference in terms of operating and the running costs. So while right now these initiatives are still on a small scale, as we transition and we get to enjoy the economies of scale, we will see better benefits in terms of putting more money in the user and the operators of these devices. Allow me to also note that Your Excellency, our power generation, again, Honorable Nankabira is better positioned to talk about it, but we are generating a lot of power. The last time I checked, we were at about 1,000, just above 1,200, moving on to almost 2,000 megawatts of generation capacity. And our consumption was still shy of 700 megawatts. Now, yes, we will produce petroleum over time, and it has so many other applications, but this energy, when you look at our energy equation, you import petroleum to run mobility devices, but we're also generating energy, which is clean, mainly from hydro, over 95% from hydro. So we also have an opportunity there to leverage our investment in hydro generation to enable people to move. The argument, of course, sometime has been, do we do it immediate? You say that a journey of 1,000 steps starts with one. Your Excellence, with your visionary leadership, we have started. We are not talking about a future which is far off. We have a capacity here to make electric buses, and we will extend this to other segments of vehicles. We have capacity to make electric vehicles. We need to go a step further and look into also making the electric vehicle batteries here, and that is practical and possible. And certainly, over the 20 years we have, we should have totally transitioned the mobility requirements to fully electric. And again, as you have advised, a mix of both electric vehicles and also electric trains will certainly be the panacea to having a sustainable or the correct way of addressing this issue, because indeed, petroleum, the investment globally is not increasing, and therefore it can no longer be sustainable for us to match the demand globally. We must move, and we are ready to move. I thank you so much, Your Excellency.